I want to explain why mind-muscle connection is overrated and why you should not chase it. And why chasing is counterproductive a lot of the time. So I have a list here that I've wrote. I'm going to be going through it. First on the list is squeeze type movement give you better mind-muscle connection. 10 out of 10 times, a squeeze type movement will always give you a better sensation. When you squeeze your muscle so hard like this, you'll feel your biceps so hard, but it's just not working. If you prioritize mind-muscle connection over having your lifts in the lengthened to mid bias for the most part, and you only do squeeze movement, it will require a lot of sets, and this is counterproductive. It's going to take a lot of time and mental energy. It's going to be mentally fatiguing to do so many sets of an exercise. The second reason on the list is you cannot feel your muscle because you don't have a muscle. Not really, we all have the muscles, but your muscle size is just so small, and the smaller it is just simply the harder to feel it. When you are a beginner or even intermediate, you might struggle to feel a muscle in a certain movement, not because the movement does not train your muscle, but it is because you just simply don't have the mass to feel it. Mind-muscle connection will come over time, the longer you train. So it is counterproductive to chase something that is just gonna come eventually if you get jacked. Just make sure you choose sound movement that are proven to train the muscle that you want to train. Like, you might not feel your pecs on a bench, and it is kind of too early for you to tell if you're like torso or arm dominant. So just don't bother with it. Bench, get strong, then eventually you can decide if this is good for you or not good for your muscle. Next on the list, compound movements will always have worse mind-muscle connection than an isolation. It is because you have so many muscles you're using on a compound that it makes it harder to feel a certain muscle. You always feel your chest better on a pick fly than a bench press. And it is because you're doing an isolation. And same for the squats, for example. Nobody feels their quad working for the most part on a squat. It is just hard to feel, and trying to make sure the mind-muscle connection stays there while you're squatting is just counterproductive. You're wasting your energy. Doesn't mean you shouldn't squat. I mean, if you're prioritizing mind-muscle connection, in theory, leg curls and leg extensions should be all you need. So why even squat? And this will result in a mentality of isolation only, which is gonna be horrible for you in the long run because it is counterproductive, and you're gonna have to do so many sets, and it's gonna be a waste of time. The way your program should be is compound first. Doesn't need to be the first exercise, but prioritize getting most of your volume with compounds, then do isolations to finish the muscles that are not trashed by the compounds. I'm gonna move on to the next point. If you're more flexible, the mind-muscle connection will feel worse. The perfect example for this is Romanian deadlifts. And I used to do Romanian deadlifts, and I felt it so much in my hamstring because they were stiff as hell. But after I gained a lot of flexibility by doing like Jefferson curls and doing extended range of motion hip hinges, I don't feel Romanian deadlifts in my hamstring anymore when I work them. Doesn't stop them from being trashed the next day. Does that mean you have to be as stiff as a board when you work out so you feel the best mind-muscle connection and get the best gains? No, it is just not how it works. That's why I say, and I'll keep repeating, mind-muscle connection is not necessary. It's a welcome addition. Feeling your muscle working is great, but if you don't feel it all the time, it does not matter. Gonna move to the next point, which is not on the list, but I just came up with it, so I wanted to add it. Feeling a disturbance in the next day or the next 2 days in your muscle, aka feeling weaker or feeling like, damn, that muscle really worked yesterday, is more important than mind-muscle connection at the moment. Because feeling a disturbance means you've done something that worked and got the muscle trashed, regardless if you felt it or not. And it came to my mind this point when I talked about Romanian deadlifts, because yes, I do not feel my hamstring anymore on Romanian deadlifts because I've gained a lot of flexibility, but I still feel trash the next day on my hamstring. Let's go through this point, moving to the next point, and it is mind-muscle connection could fade out. Usually when you start doing a new exercise, it'll feel amazing in your specific muscle that you're trying to target, and you'll get even insane DOMs the next day. But those both, they fade out over time. You do it for 2-3 weeks, you stop feeling the muscle working as hard, and it slowly fades away. Does that mean the exercise is garbage? It does not. Mind-muscle connection will fade away, but when it fades away, you ask yourself this question: did my form change, or is it still the same? If it is still the same, then keep on doing what you're doing. It works your muscle. On to the next point, and it is lighter loads and slower eccentric will have a better mind-muscle connection. Does that mean you have to slow your concentric and eccentric on all the lifts to like a super slow positive and super slow negative to prioritize mind-muscle connection over overload? You should not. For 2 reasons. I'm realizing this is like becoming like a list of a list. First of all, it is more mentally fatiguing. And second of all, it does not guarantee the equal or better stimulus. It sure as shit does not give you better stimulus. Maybe it'll give you an equal stimulus, but you still have the first point, which is it is more mentally fatiguing. So you're still down some points chasing that mind-muscle connection by slowing your positive and negative excessively. I'm not saying you should not control your reps when you go down. I'm saying excessive positive and negative slowdown is unnecessary, and it will result in more fatigue and probably worse stimulus. And it's sure as shit not giving you better stimulus. I'm telling you that. I've realized I kind of merged the next point with this one, which is you overcomplicating for no extra gains. I feel like that's already obvious, that after you've heard all the points, you simply realize you're overcomplicating everything for equal or worse gains. And most likely, in most scenarios, it's worse gains. Like you're trying to focus on mind-muscle connection so you can get better gains, but you end up just getting worse gains. Like you're being scammed pretty much. All right, the last point, which is the reason why I would never do them. The next point is it's no fun for me. I have fun doing 2 things: horse-cocking loads and getting bigger. Seeing myself getting more jacked. If I had to pick one, it's going to be getting more jacked. That's why if I need to lower the load, even though I want to keep the load as high as possible, I will lower it. If I get achy, I will lower the weight. Because I know it'll allow me to horsecock even more load in the future by keeping me safe. And that's it. As Paul Dominiman says, that all will she wrote today. Bye, people. I don't think he says bye, people. Whatever. Ciao.